Hey everybody, it's B-Diz, the rockstar part of Super Obvious. In this video, we're talking about Power, Book 2, Ghost, Episode 5. Please like and share the video, comment below on the episode and let me know what you think, and subscribe to Super Obvious on YouTube for more content. Let's go. The episode starts, and it's Tyreek's 18th birthday. It's him, Tasha, Yaz, Grandma, and also Raina shows up, which emotionally affects Tosh. We know for a few reasons why this isn't real, and we see it's Tosh dreaming while she's asleep in jail. She calls Tyreek to wish him a happy birthday. We see Kane in his whip, and Tyreek tells his mom he will come by to see her but needs to study for a test he has. After, we see Sax talking to Tamika and doing about as close as we've ever seen of him begging for Tamika to not say anything on a stand. She reminds him that she told him this was going to happen. All he has to do is drop the charges because he knows that Tosh is not a queenpin. She says if Tamika goes on the stand, then Sax is fucked. Next, we go to Monet giving Diana a pep talk on how you need to use you being a woman to level the playing field in this game against men. Ramirez shows up unannounced, and Monet shows Diana what she means by chewing out Ramirez and telling him to leave. We have Tyreek and Kane in the car showing up to Monet's where they see Ramirez leaving. Kane says he gives them info so they don't get jammed up. They go inside, and Kane is arguing with Monet about Ramirez just showing up. Monet questions Tyreek about Drew's drawing, and he says he is so busy with schoolwork and hustling that he hasn't hung out with anyone. He gets a text from Sax who wants to meet up. Sax tells him how Davis subpoenaed Tamika to court, and Tyreek is like, oh well, that's your problem and your dumbass fault if you told her anything. Sax says the whole agreement they have can go to shit if this happens. Tyreek texts Tosh to call him. Tyreek is concerned how this could expose them for what happened the night of Ghost's death. He tells her he has been blackmailing Sax the whole time, which pisses Tosh off. She tells Tyreek that Tamika has known Tyreek was the shooter, so that's why she fired her. The solution seems to have Tamika not on the stand because she knows too much. Tosh says she will be calling the shots now. We have Sax talking to Riley and asking a bunch of questions about Tyreek and is wondering how Tosh has the best defense attorney in New York. Riley says she has been staying there and talks a bunch of stuff about sex that Sax doesn't want to hear, which is funny. Sax doesn't want her talking to Tyreek, just to observe and tell Sax what's going on. We go to Jabari's whack ass, talking, and Tyreek shows up late to class, again, and tries to turn in his 15-page paper, which was due at the start of class, so now his paper has to be 25 pages. We go to Davis and Tosh, where they talk about Tamika. She seems like the key factor in how the case can happen. She's like, she's not going on the stand, I'm the client, and Davis is like, well, yeah, she definitely is, I'm the lawyer. We go to Tyreek having a talk with Jabari. He is running his mouth saying he knows Tyreek has a lot going on with his parents and starts talking about them being black people, where Tyreek shuts him up and says don't talk about his parents, and then he walks off. Jabari sucks. Next we have Tyreek and Drew talking, and Drew being gay isn't a secret. Drew says Monet is testing Tyreek to see where his loyalty lies. After, we have Monet talking to Diana, where she wants all the info that Diana can get out of Tyreek. Next, we have Brayden with Riley getting a whole bunch of drinks for Tyreek's party. Riley is being annoying, asking question after question about Tyreek, which is being a buzzkill. Zeke shows up and kind of flirts with Riley. She texts Sax that Tyreek goes missing off campus sometimes. We have Jabari, who is meeting with his literature publishing connect, who is basically telling him that his shit sucks ass, his content is horribly whack, and if his next book isn't super good, he is going to be let go. I told you guys Jabari was whack. Tyreek shows up and apologizes for mouthing off earlier. He says he won't be late to class anymore and turns in his extended paper to Jabari. Jabari seems impressed and they seem to be on the same page. Tyreek leaves and his mom calls. They talk about Tamika taking a stand. Tosh wants Tyreek to tell Tamika to not take the stand, then she tells him to make her not take the stand. Tyreek shows up to Tamika's and she welcomes him in. He asks for a drink, but then doesn't drink it, but uses the distraction to pull his gun out of his book bag and into his pocket. He talks about her not testifying, and she says it will help his mom's case. Tyreek talks to her about Sax being at truth. Tyreek looks like he is about 2 seconds from pulling out the gun when there's a knock at the door, and it's Davis. She says it's not a good time, and Davis is like, you're my client, right? And we have court tomorrow. There isn't a better time. He barges in because he knows someone is there, but Tyreek goes out the back door. Davis says that this case is fucked up and Tamika wants Davis to sit down to talk. Tyreek is in the alleyway where he gets a 911 text from Brayden. It's a surprise for his party, but goes left when Brayden's fucked up bro spills a drink on Tyreek. He goes to wash up, and Riley starts talking and asking questions about Tyreek, again, which pisses Brayden off. He wants her to make him a drink. Upon doing that, she spikes the drink that she makes for him. Tyreek gets a call from his mom, and she tells him that she is taking things over going forward. She then leaves Davis a message saying that she does not want to go to trial. She wants to take a deal. Zeke and Drew show up to the party and stop Tyreek from leaving. Zeke brought some girls for Tyreek, but Diana shows up and makes them kick rocks. She goes to make a drink and brings Tyreek with her. Drew sees the guy he was making out with, but he is acting weird in public, so I guess he is still in the closet. Tyreek sees them talking. We go to Jabari, who seems to be trying to write his new book, but he has writer's block. Professor Carey shows up and he tries to get her to have dinner and talk about his book. She seems kinda tempted, but denies his offer and leaves. Yeah, Jabari, you can't write shit, and you got rejected. You really super suck. Back at the party, Tyreek and Diana are talking about trying to find Drew. Riley gives Brayden the spiked drink. Lauren shows up, and Tyreek is playing off his relationship with Diana, which pisses her off. Brayden gives Tyreek the spiked drink, and Tyreek wants to speak to Lauren alone. Riley sees that Tyreek has the spiked drink. We go to Drew, talking to Everett, and he is frustrated about Everett acting like he doesn't know him in public. Diana shows up, and Ev leaves once they tell him that Zeke, that balls with him, is related to them. We go to Professor Carey, who was greeted by Zeke and kind of flirts with her. He talks about being used by others so they can make their come up. She asks him about his family, and Jabari's whack ass calls her, which she ignores. This episode should be called 10 Reasons Why Jabari Sucks. I feel like we're almost there. Next, Tyreek is talking to Lauren, and a spiked drink hits him and he passes out. Lauren leaves him, and then we see Riley with her pink-haired, drink-spiking, drugging people, super sketched, fucked up person. She takes Tyreek's phone. It seems like she tries to unlock it and take a pic and puts it back in his pocket. Upon leaving, Brayden's bro makes advances at her and she leaves. He goes in his room where Tyreek is knocked out and throws him onto the floor. Tyreek gets up and leaves. After that, we go back to Zeke and Professor Carey, which Jabari calls again, and probably leaves a voicemail like, hey, I keep calling you over and over and you're not answering my calls, and I hit you up like 1,000 times on social media, you know what I'm saying, and blah blah blah, sounding like a little bitch. Professor Carey and Zeke end up doing it in the bathroom. Back to Tyreek, he seems really messed up from the spiked drink and seems barely conscious while walking. He is mean to Brayden and sees Diana on the front porch. She sees his gun and takes it. She says she wants to be left alone. Tyreek gives her a hug and leaves. Next, Jabari is reading Tyreek's paper and starts using his paper to start his new book. That's called plagiarism, and we're definitely near 10 reasons why Jabari sucks just in this one episode. After that, we see Sax getting what looks like cop food. He talks on the phone with Riley, and she tells him how she drugged Tyreek and used his phone as a tracker, which is super illegal, and Sax is flipping out because he can get in big trouble if he gets caught. Next, we see Tyreek visiting Raina's grave. They are twins, so her birthday is today just like his. Even with Tyreek under the influence, he gives a very emotional talk to his dead sister. Also, talks to his dad's grave, where he confesses about what he did, and Sax is there recording everything with his phone. Tyreek wakes up and doesn't seem to remember putting the suit on for when he went out to talk to Raina and his dad. Brayden vents to him on how he feels like Tyreek isn't treating them like they are boys and doesn't appreciate the work that he does for him. Tyreek feels him and they talk. He tells Brayden about business with Monet, and Zeke can't know about it. Also, references their fam, the players on a chessboard, and Brayden seems okay. Monet is asking Diana about what she found out and she's got nothing. She shows Monet the gun she took from Tyreek and says now she just created a problem. Monet is disappointed and makes Diana go to her room. Brayden's bro breaks into Tyreek and Brayden's spot where he takes 2 bags of drugs from the stash spot above in the fireplace. Next is Tyreek meeting with Monet. He gets checked by Kane and he's clean. Tyreek knows she sent Diana to spy on him. Monet asks which one of her kids can she trust the most. Tyreek says him, which gets a cool reaction out of Kane and Monet and daps him up. She tells Kane to give Tyreek his piece, which pisses off Kane, but he does. Monet welcomes Tyreek into the family. After that, we go to Davis at Sax's office, where Davis is gloating because he pretty much has this case checkmate. But after Sax showing the footage of Tyreek confessing at the gravesite, shit gets super real. They go back and forth and basically agree to terms that Tosh will be released and they are going to lock up Tyreek for the murder of James St. Patrick, his dad. That shit is super crazy. And that's the episode. Let me know in the comments how you feel about everything in the show up to this point. Do you think Tyreek could end up getting locked up for killing Ghost, his dad? Also, I think this was the mid-season finale, so Power will not be back on until December. I plan on dropping Power videos throughout the break until the show comes back on. This shot of all the characters on a chessboard is crazy. Like and share the video, and subscribe to Super Obvious on YouTube for more content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Totally for sure.